Hey, welcome back. It is time now to get in the holiday spirit with Savory Sweet's Liz Fowler. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in again.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
It is always a pleasure for us to have you here, and we are getting in the holiday spirit here, as I mentioned, with some breakfast items,
We
right?
are, yes. The idea is, to start a new kind of tradition. So instead of having your, big family feast, you're going to do all the entertaining in the evening. Well, why not carry that over into the morning? If you're like my family, there's always one person that is the one person that sleeps in, and everyone's always waiting to open the presents. And while you're watching the Macy's Day Parade or whatever you're doing in the morning, why not have a nice holiday brunch waiting for you? So.
Well, first of all, you wake that person up. You don't make kids wait for their presents.
Well, it's my grandma is the one that sleeps in, and we do not wake Grandma up until.
Thanks for making me feel guilty. Yes, thank you so much. Now I look like a jerk.
Grandma does not get waking up early, so.
I'm going to blush throughout the rest of the segment.
No.
I should just focus on the food. All right.
We won't let her watch the segment then.
Thank you, thank you. All right.
Well, the idea is these all can be made the night ahead of time and just popped in the oven. So when you get up in the morning, just pop it in, and you'll have a hot breakfast item, and then a little savory, a little sweet. So.
That's your thing.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Should we go over the savory thing first, and then we'll start making?
Yeah, absolutely. This is it's just a holiday strata, and I thought it was makes it holiday-ish because it's the sun-dried tomatoes and the spinach, which is the red and the green, and it's got some Gruyere cheese, some Parmesan, and then I like to use either a brioche or a challah bread, just because it has a little bit more flavor and richness to it. And again, it just soaks overnight with your egg and your milk, a little bit of nutmeg, Dijon mustard, and pop it in the oven in the morning for about 30 minutes, and it's ready to go.
It sounds amazing. It smells amazing, and it's still warm. So that was at great personal risk that I just held that up here. No. It's my fault. All right, so then we have this, and this is where we get to get our hands dirty.
Yeah, this is a fun little, those fancy French desserts actually are pretty easy to make. Well, maybe not easy to make, but this version of them is easy to make. It's chocolate au pain, if I'm saying that right. But
chocolate au pain?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I'll let you say it.
I was just making it up.
But all it is a sheet of puff pastry that you just buy in the grocery store in the freezer section, and then I like to use a bittersweet chocolate or a dark chocolate, and if you want to get even fancier, you can add a little bit of raspberry preserves or something to it as well. And so what you're going to do is you take your puff pastry, roll it out onto a floured surface, and then you're just going to take your pastry cutter or a pizza cutter or whatever you have, and you're just going to cut it into squares. Just like that.
All right. Like a tic-tac-toe board.
Exactly. And you can make them as big as you want to. So if you want to make mini ones or big ones, however you want to do. And then you're just going to brush the tops with a little bit of egg white. Or not egg white, but a little bit of an egg wash. Just water in an egg. And then you're going to take your chocolate. And usually the chocolate bars you buy now are already in squares, which makes it really easy for you.
Oh, that's nice.
So just kind of take the chocolate square, and I usually take about half of it, depending on the size.
I'd probably load it up myself, but keep going, all right.
Well, you can make yours then, yeah. And then you're just going to roll, and that's really it. And then you're going to put it onto your baking sheet that's been covered in parchment.
Okay.
And then again, you're just going to take the egg wash again and just brush the top of it.
Okay, just to prove that this is idiot-proof, can I go at it
really
quickly here?
I would love you to.
All right.
And if you want to get fancy, you can always add the raspberry too, if you wanted to.
Well, I'm very fancy, Liz. That's what I'm all about. Okay, so I egg wash. Is that enough?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. I've never gotten that compliment while cooking. All right. This is a big deal. All right. So then we have this. Oh, and let's get fancy.
Yeah.
A little chocolate, a little raspberry preserves. Yes.
And again, if people don't like chocolate, you could do almost anything. You could leave out the chocolate and just do the preserves, or you could do a fresh fruit. Nutella is great with bananas. You could even do that and make it even easier.
Oh, that sounds nice. Perhaps fluff. There's pumpkin fluff. That's what Shannon, our producer, makes, and she's going to make that on air next week, actually. So that's another way. Okay, did I roll that well?
Yeah,
Is that
you
tight
rolled
enough?
it perfectly. Yep,
Okay.
and you're going to do seam side down on there.
Seam side down, that's that part. Okay,
which is perfect.
All right.
And then just a little bit more on the top.
A little more.
And then a little bit of sanding sugar, which I forgot this morning, but it's it's just a thicker rock, almost like a little rock salt sort of idea, but it's sugar. So it's just a little bit of a finishing on the top to have a little bit of a nice crust that comes on it once you bake it.
And that does have a beautiful crust.
Yeah, it just pops in the oven. That's a beautiful thing of puff pastry. It's very simple, and it puffs up magically, and you didn't do a thing. So yeah, 20 minutes in the oven, and you're good to go with your sweet in the morning.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Liz.
Thank you.
All these recipes are on northwestohio.com/blogs. You can check them out there. We also will link you up to Savory Sweet's website. You can order her food weekly and heat it up at your house from her menu, her weekly menu, as well as going to Kazmeyer's and Churchill's in Perrysburg. Time now I have no idea what time it is. China, what time is it? 6:28. We better take a break. We'll be right back. Thanks, Liz.
Okay, thanks.
That was awesome.
Good.